here today, I'm reminded of the saying, falling down is a part of life, but getting back up is living. September 6, 2017 is a date that will be etched in our minds for many years to come. The island of St. Martin took a direct hit by the largest hurricane in history. Hurricane Irma that crippled not only our community, but all or most businesses. Immediately after the storm, the country was placed on a mandatory curfew. The Dutch military took control of the airport to administer evacuation flights, and there were limited supplies and repair materials on the island. Recovery efforts were also disrupted by the threat of Hurricane Jose and subsequently the torrential rainfall from Hurricane Maria. Like many, Princess Juliana International Airport was down, but we're definitely not out. Despite the many challenges, Princess Juliana Airport's management and staff persevered by addressing the required safety and security requirements needed to obtain civil aviation's approval to reopen the airport. Take a moment to realize that this happened in a mere 34 days after Hurricane Irma. Although it may have seemed like an eternity at the time, reopening the airport in such a short time frame is a monumental achievement for which we should applaud the dedication and hard work demonstrated by Mr. Hyman, our COO, all of our employees, and all third parties who made this happen. In early December, night operations resumed once again. Again, as a result of the hard work to install the required runway lighting. Remember, airport operations are complex, and the Princess Juliana Airport must adhere to a number of safety requirements and regulatory requirements. It is not as simple as just opening your door for business. But we understand what our airport represents. It is not only a critical part of the strategic infrastructure of this island, it is also a symbol of our progress. The airport started off as a small airfield back in the 1940s and developed over time into an award-winning international airport and the second largest hub in the region. The people of St. Martin are proud of this facility because it stands as a testament to our aspirations as a nation. Hurricane Irma, while devastating, is only a bump in our road to an even bigger and brighter future. We have started our comeback, and where we are today, dedicating these temporary facilities that will accommodate visitors and residents, is because of team effort. I want to take a minute to commend our management team, our airline partners, all of the employees of Pjiae for their collaboration in the ongoing recovery and reconstruction efforts. Their collective efforts have been essential in keeping St. Martin and our neighboring islands open for business. We have a long road ahead of us. It'll take time to restore our iconic terminal building. While we work on that milestone, we can take a moment to celebrate an important step in our process. Today we celebrate the opening of this temporary departure pavilion. Our temporary facility provides approximately 20,000 square feet of space to accommodate 315 seats, 11 concessionaires, 17 airline check-in booths, 2 sets of restrooms, security screening, transit processing, and immigration processing, all in an enclosed air-conditioned environment. Now, yeah, I figured I'd get some laughs from that. Mr. Hyman is working very hard to have the aircos up by 2 p.m. today, is from what I understand. You know, as in every process that you go through, there are always hiccups. Rebuilding is not, again, opening just your doors for business. There are third parties, there are things beyond our control. We apologize, but we think that you should take a moment to be very proud of what we have here right now. With this facility, we strive for operational effectiveness, simultaneously providing our passengers with an enhanced experience. In a few weeks from now, the Princess Juliana Airport will install a new temporary arrival pavilion. These two pavilions will stand to represent St. Martin destination while we all work bringing back our pride and joy, the Princess Juliana International Terminal building. We continue our efforts en route to new horizons, as we call it, and in the not too distant future, we will come together again for another celebration. And that's going to be the celebration of the reopening of a stronger terminal facility. I want to thank you all for celebrating with us today. We are very grateful for your continued support and especially for your patience as we rebuild. Thank you all.
Hello, St. Martin. I'm Jason Rogers, Chairman of the Central Voting Bureau. On February 26 upcoming, you have the opportunity and privilege to elect 15 members to the Parliament of St. Martin, whom will be taking the oath of office on April 2, 2018. The opportunity to vote is a fundamental democratic right of you, the eligible voters. As such, I, together with my colleagues of the Central Voting Bureau, encourage you to make use of this right. Eligible voters have had the opportunity to pick up their voting card at one of the 4 substations throughout the country. As of the 12th of February, the Postal Service at St. Martin will be distributing the remaining voting cards to your home. In the event you have not yet received your voting card by February 18th, you may approach the Civil Registry as of Monday the 19th of February at the new government building and request your voting card. Should you not have the opportunity to do so, then it will also be possible to collect your voting card on the day of election at your polling station or at the Civil Registry as well. Should you have any questions regarding collecting your voting card, please feel free to call 542-0652 or 542-6085 or 542-9344. The Central Voting Bureau trusts that you will make use of your right to vote. We wish you a safe and smooth election.
Monday, February 26 is our parliamentary election, and polling stations open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. When you enter your polling station, you must check in. Eligible voters must come with your voting card, an identification card, passport, or driver's license in order to vote. Once verified, the chairman will give you your ballot. The voter goes directly to the voting booth that is not occupied and votes by coloring the white circle with the red pencil in front of the name of the candidate of choice. Use only the red pencil. Vote for only one person, and don't write or draw on the ballot. If you make a mistake, return to the chairperson and ask for a new ballot. This can only be done once. You are prohibited from selling your vote, using a cell phone, and taking video and photos. When you have finished voting, fold the ballot and proceed to the ballot box, where you will insert your ballot. Exercise your right. Go out and vote.
What a difference a day makes. I was just here actually 2 days ago, and it didn't look quite like this. And I'll tell you what, I'm really, really impressed with the work that has been done here in just these 2 days. But I can't think of a St. Martiner, if I may use that term in a politically correct way, that traveling out of this island or even returning after Hurricane Irma has been literally moved to tears to see what has become of our award-winning Princess Juliana International Airport. Although the airport reopened relatively quick for commercial flights after the hurricane, the makeshift arrangements for the processing of passengers made it look and feel as if we were 75 years in the past. When the terminal building was a small structure through which arriving and departing passengers passed. But 5 months after, the unprecedented devastation of what had become the jewel of the Caribbean and a source of immense pride for all of us on the island, and after traveling to other Caribbean islands that were hit by less powerful hurricanes and seeing the state of their repairs, I think we can actually beat our chest because we are leading the pack again. Ms. Catacloma just mentioned the inaugural flight of Inter-Caribbean. We welcome them. This is another addition to St. Martin and the airport family. On another note, I was just speaking to a representative of Spirit Airline who was not aware of our great developments and is actually going to take that message back home, and hopefully we can get Spirit back sooner than we think. Now, I don't want you to take my words out of context, but we are not in competition with anyone to determine who is bouncing back better or faster from a disaster of this magnitude of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. We are just concerned about the experience of our visitors and other users of this airport, which, by the way, has a slogan, "The experience will move you." The opening today of this temporary departure pavilion is indeed one step forward in improving the experience we have all had, having to depart from a makeshift area that did not have all the top-notch conveniences we had and been growing accustomed to over the years. We must remember that no other disaster in history has impacted this gateway to paradise like Hurricane Irma. In fact, I understand that the monster storm packed winds of up to 240 miles per hour at the airport. In other words, the takeoff speed of a fully loaded 747 jet aircraft. But Irma didn't just take off on the runway. It hit the terminal building with such a devastating force that it swept away the jet bridges and caused some serious damage, and it rendered the facility completely unusable. I must commend the efforts of management and the entire staff and all the other stakeholders who have made sure that within a month or so, the airport was open for commercial flights again. The most important signal to the outside world that St. Martin is open for business again is indeed a functioning airport. Central bank studies have shown that the Princess Juliana International Airport is one of our greatest economic assets, contributing to some 60% of our GDP. Therefore, if the airport sneezes, the whole island, and I might add, the surrounding islands, given its significant hub function, will catch pneumonia. That is why, while our focus should continue to be on rebuilding and restoring the airport to its enviable position as the best airport in the Caribbean, we should nevertheless ensure that the last impression visitors have, even under these circumstances, is one they can smile about. This temporary departure pavilion will provide that, I am sure. First impressions are just as important, or maybe even more so. I therefore look forward when a similar pavilion be completed for arriving passengers. Every adversity, they say, offers opportunities, and Irma is certainly no exception. The rebuilding of the terminal building provides a great chance to incorporate into design and planning an improved and sterile transit area and the U.S. pre-clearance to which our government is fully committed and for which negotiations are continuing according to schedule. I can assure you that in my capacity as acting Minister of Pjiae, with responsibility for the airport, government will do all that is in our power to facilitate the rebuilding and further development of these facilities. We will also like to continue to encourage strategic partnerships in this vital sector that will result in a win-win-win situation for all involved. It is therefore a distinct honor and privilege for me to declare this temporary departure pavilion open. I thank you very much.